everyone, it's Enjoy English School. Today is October 26th. We have the destinations article. That means we're going to talk about going to some new place. We're on pages 48 and 49, I think, in the magazine.
Yes.
And our article is called The Lake of Kings.
那我们今天10月26号行遍天下的主题在48、49页，我们今天要讲的是湖中之王国王湖的故事。
Wow, that's an awesome name for a lake.
国王湖。
Yeah, Lake of Kings. That sounds fantastic. Let's look at our subtitle here. If peace, quiet, and beauty are what you're after, we got a place for you.
假如平和、静谧以及美景是你在找寻的，那我们呢为你准备了一个地方。
That's right. And that place is not my house because I'm a noisy person. So let's hear our story. And then when we come back, we have part 1 and paragraph 1.
The Lake of Kings. High in the German Alps lies an emerald green jewel. It's a quiet paradise where the noise of the world doesn't seem to exist. This is Lake Königssee, one of the greatest natural wonders in Germany. The lake is located on the border between Germany and Austria. It is nearly 8 kilometers long and almost 2 kilometers across at its widest point. It is surrounded by peaks that seem to shoot out of the waters of the lake itself. The mountains produce an interesting effect, a long-lasting echo. A tradition on the lake is to play a flugelhorn or a trumpet and listen to the notes bounce off the rock face. The notes echo up to 7 times, which produces a calming and repeating melody. The waters of Lake Königssee are also famous for their high quality. In order to keep it this way, since 1909, only electric passenger boats, along with rowboats and paddle boats, have been allowed on the lake. Tourists enjoy not only paddling across the crystal clear water, but also walking around Lake Königssee.
All right, friends. So it's really funny, Minnie. At the beginning of the month, we talked about hiking. And now here we are at almost Halloween, the best holiday. And we're talking again about a little bit more hiking in the German Alps.
Yay!
That's right. And, you know, I wrote at the top of my question, but I already know the answer. Minnie, if you could go on a 1-week vacation, let's just say summer. Okay, a week on the beach in July or like a week in the mountains in October, which one are you going to pick?
Beach in July.
I want to ask you guys this because I think when I was younger, I think I might take that week on the beach in July, but totally I would take that mountain vacation in October today. Like, no question. I go to the beach now, I just don't. I'm kind of bored usually because I'm just sitting in the one place, right? I like the walking and going somewhere in the mountains.
You can sit there, you can do like babe watching.
Babe watching. Babe watching. Listen, I am the babe to be watched. No one? Okay. No, yeah, I don't know. It was never really much for me. And plus, I was like, when I was younger, I was too skinny and I was really white. And now I'm uglier and I'm also too white. Every time I go to the beach, people are like, like it's too bright on their eyes.
You will still be younger than tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Well, here we go. When I'm 60, I'll wear like the
Speedos.
The Speedo, go to the beach like that. All right, let's go to our story.
Chris 老师在海滩上的
No! Stop. Here we go. High in the German Alps lies an emerald green jewel. That's a beautiful sentence.
I know. Emerald 这个字好漂亮。这一句话他说在德国阿尔卑斯山的高处有一颗 emerald 翠绿色的宝石。
Yeah, emerald, of course, is very deep green. When we say lies, this just really means is, but它加长, it's horizontal. It's on the side. It's not tall like a building.
它不是直立的，它是平的。
That's right. If it's a mountain, we'll say stands a something mountain. So we know it's not tall. It's kind of flat. And let's look at our next sentence. It's a quiet paradise where the noise of the world doesn't seem to exist.
那它是一个安静的天堂，世界的喧嚣仿佛不存在。
Now, paradise just means like heaven, but when we say heaven, sometimes it feels like it's a Christian thing. So we like to be a little clear. This is on earth, right? There was a song when I was a kid, like, ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Remember that one?
No.
No.
好，老师刚刚说天堂还有另外一字是 heaven， 但如果我们要讲的是天国，基督教里面的天国，那 H 会是大写。
Yeah.
那这边 paradise 它就比较没有宗教意味在，就是任何你的 happy place， 我们都可以叫做 paradise.
My happy place.
Hey.
Let's continue to our next sentence. This is Lake Königssee, one of the greatest natural wonders in Germany.
那这就是国王湖，德国最美的自然景观之一。
Okay, of course, like always, we want to have good pronunciation, but don't let the scary German word stop you from understanding all the other English. I mean, you can call it, lake whatever, and the story still remains the same. And you can just practice saying it if you really want to know some German.
Königssee.
Königssee. Königssee. That's very German. Okay, with that, let's get
Also
ready.
very Korean.
Yeah?
I think so. Königssee.
Yeah. it feels very, so maybe this is a cultural thing because I hear it feels super German to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Asian, so.
Yeah, so maybe, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a culture thing, right? That's interesting. All right. Does it sound German or Korean to your ear? Königssee.
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 Oh, I love the pronunciation, actually. Okay.
Königssee. I see like a German guy, and you see the guy from, what was that show a couple years ago that was so famous? They like killed people for money.
I don't know.
They had a game show. They were wearing like green.
Oh, Squid Game or something?
Squid Game, that's
Squid
right.
Game.
Does it sound more Squid Game or more like German? I don't know. You tell us. Let's get ready for our next paragraph. Okay, friends, let's begin paragraph 2. The Lake Königssee, is located on the border between Germany and Austria.
那这座湖坐落于德国跟奥地利的边境，注意哦，是奥地利，不是澳洲哦，是 Austria， 不是 Australia 哦。
That's a very good point. Look at the map. Could you point it? Like, could you go fast on the map? Like, pow, right there. Did you ever see people do those videos? Like, they're like, where is this country on a map? They have no idea. Like, they're Americans. They don't know where America is on a map. I thought this was fake. It's like Americans can't find America on a map.
Interesting.
It's your country. Like, do you think Taiwanese could find Taiwan on a map?
Normally, we are not on a map.
But I mean, like, you could find it. Like, you could point.
Yeah.
And, like, there's no borders. There's no lines on the map. Could you point to Taiwan?
Yes.
Do you think how many Taiwanese could do it? 100%?
I think 应该蛮高的，超过90。
There were a lot of Americans that couldn't do it. Like, I saw in Yenzhou, they couldn't do it. It's embarrassing. It's It's your country. Like, I could guess if you can't find Germany and Austria.
这么大。
It's a big one. That's right. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. I'm going to get angry at Americans. It is nearly 8 kilometers long and almost 2 kilometers across at its widest point.
那这边的 it 单词就是这个 lake 啊，它将近8公里长，而且呢，最宽的地方将近2公里。
That sounds like a really nice walk. It's a nice, really long
Really
walk.
nice walk.
It does. It sounds like a really nice, like, all-day hike around this beautiful lake.
Maybe more than a day.
8 kilometers? Bro, you could walk 8 kilometers in a day. Yeah, I've done that.
But 你要算它的面积耶，它不是只是直线耶。
I mean, but that's still like a day walk, right? 8 times 2 is 16. Yeah, that's 16 kilometers. I could walk that.
Okay.
I mean, but then again, maybe it's like up and down hill.
Yeah.
I don't actually know. I don't know. I mean, I've walked that like in Yaming Mountain.
Yeah, 16公里是可以走啦，
You can do
但是
that.
要看路的
You'll be tired. You'll be
状况。
tired. Yeah, beautiful. You can yodel. Like, yodel.
Okay.
Let's continue. Okay, at its widest point, Shaoxin, if you are typing ITS because you want to say like 这个东西的所有个, your autocorrect will almost always make it IT apostrophe S. I mean, 真的要小心. And this happens to me all the time when I'm typing on my phone. Autocorrect. Your cell phone wants to make it ITEPAS, 它是, and of course that's wrong. Always double check that when you're typing in English.
所以这个 ITS it's 啊，它常常会有我们的 Google 它是不是 Google 是 Word，它会自动更新嘛，所以它会帮你改成 ITEPS。 但是 its 跟 its 两个是不一样的意思，所以一定要特别再看一次。
You always check that message. It's one of those things that's annoying about autocorrect. It's one that always it's 好像一直都是错了，所以小心。All right, it is surrounded by peaks that seem to shoot out of the waters of the lake itself.
那它被貌似从湖水本身射出的群峰环绕。
Now, surrounded by, well, this is a really easy word. You could cut it into two parts. S-U-R is related to super, right? So we know like 超级, and then round, we know 就是圆圆的. So it's like
超级圆。
超级圆圆的. That's my belly after a big meal. No. So when this means super around, we have this a few times in English. It just means all the way. It means 100%.
环绕的意思。
That's right. Now, peaks, like we said at the beginning of the month, is the top part of a mountain.
那我们10月3号的时候有讲过这个爬山的主题，有讲过这个字 P-E-A-K peak 是 top of the mountain 是山峰的意思。
And we say to shoot out because it feels like it's really fast. These are really steep. They're not kind of slow, easy mountains to walk up. These are quite difficult.
Steep 也是很重要的字啊，就是代表说比较陡峭的意思。
Good catch. That's steep. S-T-E-E-P. And so maybe walking those 16 kilometers would be more difficult, right? Because there's lots of steep mountains. Not for me.
如果都是上山的话
strong,
，16公里很累。
No problem. No, I'm good. Here we go. Ready? Let's continue. The mountains produce an interesting effect, a long-lasting echo.
那群山呢会产生一个有趣的效果，就是一个悠长而持久的回音。例如像你说哟呼，然后就会哟呼哟呼哟呼哟呼。
Yeah, like what's the word you yell into an echo? There has to be like in the world, like every culture has to have a different thing. Am I right about this?
我们台湾有一个很久以前的广告，他说 Yo gagi lesta 之类的日文吧，我也不知道。
Okay, so there's like a thing that Taiwanese would yell. What would foreigners yell? Or like Americans would? I don't know. Probably hello, just something stupid like hello.
Or like 哟呼啊。
Yohu. Well, I know the Germans are famous for what's called the yodeling, and that's where they're wearing the little green shorts and the funny hat. Is it yodeling, hee-hoo, that kind of thing, right? That was always in
白雪
cartoons.
公主与七矮人里面有。
Yodel, Y-O-D-E-L, yodel. That's a word right there, yodel.
Yodel.
Your second baby is going to be called Yodel, right? No, Yodel.
Yodel fibs. Not bad, actually.
Really?
YP.
You better.
Initial.
You
YP.
can go home and see how that goes.
Okay.
So yeah, what's the word you would yell into an echo? Now, when we have long-lasting, that means it stays for a long time.
持久的 long
That's
lasting.
right. Let's continue here. A tradition on the lake is to play a flugelhorn or a trumpet and listen to the notes bounce off the rock face. Boy, that is a German sentence.
Yeah, OK. 好，来 on the lake 这个在湖上，我们用介系词 on， 所以他说在湖上有一项传统是吹奏柔音号或者是小号，然后聆听音调从岩石表面反弹回来。
Okay, flugelhorn is like a German trumpet. Don't worry about this word too much. But if you really like musical instruments, or you watch a movie like The Sound of Music, this old Disney movie, you'll see them, but it's not really important to the story. You just blow your instrument and you hear the sounds bounce off the rock face, the walls of your mountain.
对，就是岩石表面的意思。
And our next sentence, the notes echo up to 7 times, which produces a calming and repeating melody.
音调呢，它回荡至多就是最多7次，那产生了平静而且重复的旋律。
So melody, of course, you probably know a girl in your class or school somewhere using the name Melody. Melody here is just like a kind of like a short song. It's a very common word for music, and it's a very common name in Taiwan.
那 melody 呢，你可能会有一些女生的朋友，她们的名字也是 melody， 但其实 melody 最原本的意思就是旋律的意思。
That's right. Okay, and with that, let's take another quick break. And when we come back, we have our final paragraph. Hey everyone, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 48 and 49, and we're talking about Lake Königssee. Is it German or is it Korean? We'll still find out. And let's look at our paragraph. The waters of Lake Königssee are also famous for their high quality.
那国王湖的湖水呢，也以它的高品质 high quality 而出名 ，famous for.
Now, here's a dirty little secret about English.
Waters.
You know, yeah, when you're learning English, especially at the basic level, the kind
水
of
不
easy
能
level.
数。
That's right. 不可数, 不可数, 不可数. But actually, when you get really high in English, a lot of those 不可数可以当可数. Those uncountables can be countable, but they mean slightly different things. You usually don't have to worry about them, but 一般来说，如果你的不可数当可数, it usually talks about a lot of kinds from different places.
所以如果你的不可数名词加了 s， 那就代表说它是有不同种类的或不同地方的，我们就会把它变成加 s。
That's right. So 举例来说, if we're talking about, like, I have a lot of monies, 这个意思是 money 当然是不可数, but this means I have like Taiwanese money, I have money from Japan, American money, lots of kinds. Now, 可能每一国家 I only have like 100块的那个而已, right? But you have different kinds, so 它要当复数。
对。
Okay, let's continue. In order to keep it this way, the waters being very high quality, since 1909, only electric passenger boats, along with rowboats and paddle boats, although paddle boats are with your feet, have been allowed on the lake.
那他说为了继续保持，但他没有讲保持什么，但是因为我们上一段讲到它高品质的水嘛，对不对？所以呢，这边就是保持这个水质的意思。所以自从1909年开始呢，只有电动的客船、划艇跟所谓的脚踏船被允许在湖上游行。
So
航行。
Very nice.
游行 I'm like,
So let's look at our date here. 1909. Be careful. Listen to how I say this. 1909. 不是1909. 这个不可以说 zero. Now, interestingly, if you were walking around or hiking around Lake Kunixi in 1909, there's a word you wouldn't say. And that word is backpack, because the word backpack was invented in 1910. At this time, in 1909, and 你现在也可以说 your 那个背包 would be called a knapsack. Now, nap here is K-N-A-P. 这个 K 是无发音, so 小心. And then sack, S-A-C-K. Sack is just like a bag, right? Think of like 马铃薯, 大袋子 like that. And nap actually has a few meanings in English, but a knapsack is like your book bag.
所以老师这边有讲因为我们这边的文章刚刚讲1909年开始，对不对？那我们现在讲背包用 backpack 这个字，其实它是在1910年才有这个字的哦。在1910年以前，我们的包包都会用 knapsack。K-N-A-P-S-A-C-K 这个字，那老师刚刚有特别讲 S-A-C-K sack 其实就是有点像是你的马铃薯麻布袋啊
Onions,
yeah 所以以前的包包搞不好都是用这个麻布袋做的吧。
Now, we were talking about using electric passenger boats, rowboats, and paddle boats with your feet. Let me tell you, going on a lake with your, like my wife or your husband, it can be a very romantic experience, or it can be a real nightmare, I think. Has David taken you out on the water, like rowboats and all that?
Yeah.
And he was a good rower, right?
Yeah.
So it was a good experience, right? So yeah, I'm a pretty good boater too, and I've taken my wife out on lakes, and it's very nice. And I'll tell a personal story. There's someone that I know, my brother, and he was not a good boater, and he and his wife had a terrible time. Like they tried to kind of be calm about it, but I can tell they felt a little unhappy because they kept just like Minnie was using her hands, just rauja. They were slow, why. And then at the end of the trip, they kind of were okay. And then as they were getting out, they don't know how to get out of the boat correctly. And the whole boat flipped.
Oh my God.
When they stood up, it was just like, 他们要离婚. They looked so unhappy and I felt so bad. But I understand why they didn't want me to like roll with them. It'd be too many people. So boys, if you're gonna like want to take a girl out on a lake, make sure you practice first. Because 不然 you look stupid.
对，老师刚刚讲的故事是说那个划船的那个船桨，如果你不太会用的话，你会无法前进，你会一直在原地打转。
Or like a canoe, especially a canoe, 就是这种的。
独木舟。
That's right. If you don't know how to use this boat, it will be very difficult.
而且很容易翻车。
That's right. That's exactly what happened. 他们到底就是 It would just, they went into the river.
希望他们都会游泳啦。
Yeah, they were fine. The water was not deep, but it was funny to see them fall.
对，所以从浪漫的时刻变成有点狼狈的时刻。
Oh, it was bad. Okay, so let's continue here. Tourists enjoy not only paddling across the crystal clear water, but also walking around Lake Kunixi.
那游客不仅喜爱划过这个清澈的水面，他也享受在国王湖周围散步。
Man, I would walk around and paddle. Okay, would you rather walk around it or take a boat ride?
Walk.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't like the boat?
I don't like the boat.
Really?
Because I'm not a good swimmer.
Oh, so it's a little dangerous. But then your husband can rescue you and it's more romantic. He like walks out of the water. He's like carrying
I don't want to be wet.
Okay, that's proof. All right.
Yeah.
Don't fall in. Okay. All right. So let's get ready for our vocab review. And when we come back, well, we're going to look at those words. All right, friends, let's look at our vocab review. And our first word today is to exist.
Exist 就代表说是存在。
And number 2, we have natural.
形容词代表说自然的。
Now, if it's a noun, we're going to say
Nature.
nature. 那个 natural 变成 nature with a long A.
所以它的母音发音有点不一样，练习一下 nature, natural.
That's right. Number 3, we have a border.
Border 的意思就是说它是边境。
That's right, with the line between those two countries. Number 4 is affect with an E.
With an E 是这个影响，而且它是名词。
That's right. Now, affect is
效果。
also with an A. Be careful there. That spelling is really tricky. It's something you need to practice. People use it wrong a lot.
影响跟效果都是effect， 但是一个是 A 是动词 ，E 是名词。
That's right. The affect with an E is the noun because 你可以像一项这样子 THE, the effect, right? The 就告诉你下一个字 it's going to be a noun,
名词
right?
yeah.
So 那个结尾 E 下一个字母是 E. Oh, there you go. That's your noun.
联想法。
That's right. Okay. Let's continue. Number 5, we have an echo.
Echo 回音回音。
Now, do you go to the echo or do you run away from it? Like you told us about the hiking story with Elsa.
Oh,
You hear an echo, I'm
you
running
run away.
Yeah, I'm not going
But
towards the echo.
Elsa go into the mountains.
I'm not going. I'm not going. Next, we have up to.
Up to 的意思就是说at most 就是至多的意思。
That's right. Next, continue to be famous for.
Be famous for 就是说以什么闻名，以什么出名。
And number 8 is to allow, which means to let, but 真的这个严格多了 to allow.
Allow 就是允许的意思。
Now, 小心 let, remember no verb to verb, but allow 一定要用 to, so allow
Someone
him
to do
to
something.
do something. 对. Now, we can make allow even more serious by saying permit.
Permit.
It's P-E-R-M-I-T. 这个是最严重的东西. This
对。
is like a gun permit.
Yeah, 所以你让别人做什么事情 ，you let someone do something， 或者是 allow someone do something 更严重一点。那如果说要法律允许更严格，我们用 permit 这个字。
All right, and with that, we are done for today. Don't forget to tell us down in the comments, do you want a week on the beach in July or a week in the mountains in October? Now, Minnie, you said the beach.
海边
And I said the mountains. So
山上
where are you guys going? Let us know in those comments. And we'll see you tomorrow for Enjoy English School. I am Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.